pretty good. I send him film and he sends me back some tips, and whenever he's back in town, we punt together and work at it together. So yeah, he's been real good for me.
What's this first year been like for you? What has kind of been the biggest adjustment for you to playing American football?
Probably practices, to be honest. I'd never experienced a football practice till day one of spring and didn't really know what was going on. And there's obviously a lot more people on a roster and coaching staff and whatnot than I'm used to back home. So that was a bit of a shock, and it's all a bit different. But probably practices and stuff like that.
What are maybe the things you enjoy the most about playing your first couple football games?
The fans have been pretty good. Obviously on the weekend we didn't get the result, but it was good to see the fans there in full force and cheering us on. So that's probably been the best part.
Do you know all the rules of American football? What things you go?
I know most of the rules, to be honest. Yeah, there's obviously a couple things here and there where I'm not exactly sure or I have to question it, but it's not too bad.
Do you already have an appreciation for? Do you already have an appreciation for just how important it is to kind of punt at the one, and like what was kind of that celebration as a unit like?
Yeah, obviously I know that's the best result possible. And the celebration as a unit, it was a great job by Jackson on the first one to get there in a good position and help out there. And the second one, I think it was Julian, did a good job to get down there and cover it. So the unit was obviously pretty happy with both of them. So yeah. Yeah, I spoke to Coach Fleming a fair bit as well, because obviously he was, I believe, as a QC before he took over from Coach Barnes. So I used to speak to both of them, quite a bit. So I already had a bit of a relationship there. But he's been good for me since I've been here. So no complaints there.
What was it that made you decide to become a Buckeye, and has it lived up to your expectations so far?
Yeah, definitely has lived up to my expectations, and just obviously it's a pretty easy decision to come and play football here. It's like the best fans in the country, one of the biggest stadiums in the country, and one of the best teams in the country. So it's a pretty easy choice, and definitely lived up to what I expected.
Did your family see you play?
They actually all stayed up. It was on at midnight last weekend for them, so a bunch of them went over to my place and watched it, which was good. So it's tough for them, but they've found a way so far.
Brian Day has talked about how you're not the typical freshman because you're older for
Yeah.
what a freshman is like. What kind of sense do you get of being an older freshman? Does that have an impact on your experience and how you play with the team?
I think I've got a little bit more maturity than obviously a typical freshman, which helps. I guess it's hard to be a leader day one when you're new to the sport, but I feel like I have some leadership skills and whatnot from playing football back home and being a little bit older that definitely translates. So
How old are you?
I'm 24.
How Australian roots football did you play growing up?
How much?
Yeah.
Since I was 4. And we pass the ball by punting it to each other. So I've been doing that for a while.
Were you insulted when Nick Saban said that he was going to go watch his punter, who's also from Australia, go play rugby with the rugby team? He basically didn't get the sport part. Did that insult you?
I didn't see it. Doesn't really bother me. Yeah.
And, how big is American football over there?
It's pretty big. College football is growing as well. There's obviously a lot of other Aussie guys over here. I got a lot of friends. The first 2 games have been Aussie pro kick friends of mine, so which has been good. And there's always a lot of NFL back on home as well. So it's definitely bigger than people probably think.
Is there like a team that most Aussies root for in the NFL?
Not really. There's a lot of Green Bay fans normally. Don't know why, but there is. That's probably probably Aaron Rodgers. That's about it. But
How much did seeing what Cam did here play into your desire to become a Buckeye?
Obviously a lot. Like Cam's had a very successful career and still is having a good career, and the opportunity that comes with playing here and the exposure and whatnot obviously comes into play. And he did a lot here and had a great career here as well. So if I can get anywhere near Cam's career, I'll be pretty happy. So.
Besides the practice, what's the toughest part of the game part you had to adjust to, Jesse? You've got 2 games on your
Probably the length of the game. They've both been pretty long, especially when you're just standing there a lot of the day. And a lot of I hold as well, and a lot of our scores have been explosive, like big plays out of nowhere. So it's you got to kind of be ready and ready to go at any time, really. So probably that.
How much of an adjustment was that, holding, and how difficult of a skill is that to learn to the level that they want it to be done?
I held a little bit back home before I got here, and again when I first got over here, I did some work with Drew and some holding work with Cam and Liam, the old long snapper here as well. So It's obviously difficult. It's not as natural, but we put a lot of work into it. Myself and Brad and Jake and Noah, the kickers. So I feel like we're getting it done, and we'll keep working on it as well. So
You said you knew most of the rules here.
yeah.
What was an example of something in spring practice or whatever? You went, what are they doing? I don't understand this.
Honestly, just like everything about spring practice, like the periods, I didn't know like what was going on. Like the first pump period is always first period of practice, and yeah, that was it's pretty chaotic in pump period. It only goes for about 5 minutes, so yeah, just people flying everywhere. There's always stuff going on. Yeah, just trying to stay out of the way when I'm not involved, I guess. So yeah.
Who's your favorite race car driver, Ricardo or maybe Will Powell? Who do you,
Ricardo, I'm a big Danny Rick fan. He had a good win on the weekend, so it was good to see. Yeah.
There's players on this team from all over the United States, and then you're from Australia. I mean, what's it kind of like to just be a part of a team with people from so many different backgrounds, including your own?
Yeah, no, it's cool. I enjoy it. There's like guys from everywhere, all over the country here. Other guys from like Enoch's from Hawaii as well, which is pretty cool as well. So yeah, it's definitely different. It's different culture, I'd say. So it takes a bit of getting used to. People don't understand me that well as well, which is a bit tricky at times. But no, it's definitely like I guess good exposure. It's something different. It's something you don't get to do every day back home. So.
What has surprised you about America, or what has kind of stood out about being here so far?
Just probably being here with the football and just how crazy it is with the fans, and like game day was obviously the first time I've seen the shoe full, and that's probably the biggest one, just how fanatic and passionate everyone is. Yeah.
Outside of football, anything that stand out about Columbus or just
Um,
in general that kind of takes you by surprise or just stands out?
It doesn't really stand out, but like the food and stuff's pretty different, stuff like that. Just a lot of like different little cultural things that you probably wouldn't think twice about that are just completely different to back home. Obviously, I got my license here now as well, so driving's a bit different, but yeah, we work at that, so that's all good now.
Food different good or different like not so good?
Different good. It's just different. Everything's just most things are pretty different. So
so what's the one thing you found you liked?
one thing that I like. We get a lot of mac and cheese and stuff here, which is pretty good, so I can't complain with that. A lot of good chicken and stuff as well. The one thing I probably dislike, I think the coffee back home is a little bit better, but I'm a big coffee guy, so that's probably the big one. Not really. I do have some here. I made Thayer. I used to live with Thayer and Brad, and I made Thayer try some, and yeah, he spat it out, and I wasn't too happy about it, but yeah, I don't really eat it myself. I used to when I was a kid, but that's about it.
How much does it help to have Noah, who's also new?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not new.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of help each other in terms of getting used to the Ohio State culture?
Yeah, Noah's been really good. Like you said, he's played at this level before, and he's a mature guy. He's just a good guy as well. He's easy to talk to. We're all the specialists pretty good friends outside of football as well. We golf together, and yeah, we spend a lot of time on the weekends together and stuff. So yeah, he's obviously been good, just someone to talk to, and obviously yeah, he's been through it all. So.
When you went to the shoe, first time, 100,000 people,
Mhm.
what was that like for you? Just
Um,
running there?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, especially when I wasn't on the field, just taking it all in and looking around and seeing the fans. To be honest, when you're out there and like when you're punting, when you're holding, you don't think twice about it. Like it's one of those things that you're not sitting there like nervous to go on the field because of all the fans. Like you don't take notice of it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, like when you're not on the field though, and looking around and hearing the fans, a few big third downs we had on the weekend as well, which the student section was going crazy, which was pretty cool to see. So yeah, just trying to take it all in.
There's so much talk about the brotherhood and the culture here. I'm just curious, how does the culture within this program maybe compare to what you've experienced when you were playing Australia?
It's just different. I think we got a really good culture here, considering how many guys there are on a team. Like back home, a roster of like a football team is 30, 40 guys. Only 22 play each week, so it's obviously a smaller group. So a lot of people are a lot closer to each other. Obviously, it's hard here when there's 120 guys on a roster, but I think we do a pretty good job of all getting to know each other. I think fall camps are a great way to do that as well. You're here all day for a couple of weeks with everyone. Probably talk to guys you hadn't spoken to as much before as well. So yeah, I think we do a good job at it.
What was the biggest stadium you played in before Saturday?
Well, probably only like 5,000-10,000, and then obviously Minnesota. So yeah.
Yeah. When did you decide to pursue this?
I think it was December 2019 after I took a trip over here, a vacation. I went and watched a friend of mine, Max Duffy, play at Kentucky, and kind of thought I could do this, and it looked like it was good fun and something I wanted to do. So yeah.
Plus positional punting, was that obviously you've got when you're playing Australian rules football, you got to kick it to another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did that come kind of naturally?
Yeah, yeah.
Where they want you to put it?
Yeah, so that's pretty natural. Coach Fleming tells me what he wants done. I try and do it to the best of my ability, and we hope that it works. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you,
All
Jesse.
good. All right, thank you.
Jesse.
Australian accent? Why do you say that?
Because Jesse was just out here. We're all used to it.
He's like you're speaking an English accent.
How are y'all?
Hey, Garrett,
It's better than me.
first couple games, how have you seen your chemistry with CJ grow?
Yeah, with CJ, we knew it was going to be reps and game reps to, get that chemistry down fully. So, it's not something that you can just build only in practice. Game, it takes, game reps to get there. So, it's expected that we've gotten better, through these first 2 games. So.
Garrett, I know you guys want to be perfect as an offense, and you expect to be, but is there too much pressure on the offense right now to be perfect every single snap? Or do you guys feel that with the defense having some struggles?
I think we put it on ourselves. So if we don't score a touchdown, I know after the first 2 drives this past weekend, we felt like we didn't do enough. So, you know your personnel. You know how games are shaken up in the past, and I feel like every drive we don't go out there and score, it puts a little bit more pressure on the defense, and vice versa. Whenever they get scored on, we feel like we have to score every drive. I don't know. So. I just don't know.
On the outside looking in, 612 yards of offense.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good team. Is a pretty good day. But,
Yeah.
Were you guys leaving that game? Were you frustrated at the lack of scoring output? How do you process that?
Yeah, we started slow and we finished slow. So, you can say what you want about defense, but we had 2 chances to tie the game up, and then if we do what we do on the first drive, take the lead after they got those 3 stops really if you count the last drive. So. We don't feel like we did enough offense side, and we want to control what we can control. So that's putting points on the board every drive.
What did you notice about your defensive teammates, like today in practice and stuff? Is there a new resolve? What would you notice that's different?
Yeah, they bring it every day. So, I don't think anything's changed with them. They bring it every day. So they got some new things they're working on, and I'll leave it at that. But. My teammates, they come out there and get to work every day on defense, offensive side, both sides. So, yeah, my fault.
This is the first time in your career that you lost in a game that wasn't the end of the year.
Yeah.
First time you had to bounce back. How do you think the team has responded this week after obviously a very disappointing loss?
Yeah. Today we haven't had a better practice than today all year. Offensively, I would say, they're trying to learn new things on the defensive side, so that comes with, a learning curve. But, the energy and just the attention to detail the last 2 days, I feel like it hasn't been like that, this whole since camp started. So, we knew we had some problems, but whenever you lose, it magnifies them all. So, there's no room for, messing up at practice anymore. If there was before, there's none at all now. So.
Are you kind of taking this as the approach that we can make this a blessing in disguise?
Yeah. I don't want to look. I hate losing, so yeah, it's not no blessing to me ever. Like I don't know. I hate talking about it. I hate losing. So, it's kind of just you gotta use it though. You can't just use it as you can't just have it as a loss and not use it to get better or realize what the problems were and really address them now. So, yeah.
How exciting was it to see Jackson have a big breakout performance even in the loss?
Yeah. That's like I've said it before. We all know what Jackson's capable of, and to see him do that, that's who Jackson is. You're gonna see that 100 more times. So that was just the beginning for Jackson.
Does he have a little more bounce in his step though this week? He was a major focal point.
Yeah.
Of attempted comeback.
Yeah. He. As being a receiver, you want to get the ball. So, I say that kind of often. You don't want to be just blocking and stuff like that. So, coming back from the, week 1, and he played good. It's just he didn't get the targets that he, would like after against Minnesota, and then, come back with the big game against Oregon. That was big for his confidence for sure.
How does that help you and Chris? Obviously everyone's going to focus on you guys first. To have him kind of emerge a little bit and let people focus on him. What does that do for you two outside?
That's everything. Having a weapon at, every position. You can't choose which one you want to focus on to take out of the game. You see like teams like the Kansas City Chiefs play, and you pick your poison, and they throw to the other one, like stuff like that. It's huge. Just opens up the whole offense. So,
on that 4th down conversion, I think down there going toward the goal line, I think Jackson might have been maybe the first read on that, but they jumped him, and you were open on a little deep out. play.
Yeah.
CJ saw you.
Okay, yeah.
Was that a lot of things coming together there? And do you see that as a growth, another one of those growth moments for CJ?
Yeah, I mean that play we had ran it three, 4 times throughout the game, but this was the first time. That was the first time he got back to the opposite side. So it was a quick read off the start, and then come back to the opposite side. And that was the first time he got back to it. And we were, like you said, they were cover two shell, I think it was. So, yeah, I mean him being able to recognize that and get to the backside was huge.
What's that like get the shine like Jackson?
Yeah.
Other guys that are capable of doing that?
Yeah, I mean, see, we saw Jackson come in, so, and literally the first day, me and Chris looked at each other like watching Jackson run a route, and we were just like, okay, like we got us one, So, I mean, it's been a long time coming for Jax. He had his flashes last year. I mean, one of the craziest catches I've seen body control wise, and I mean, how many yards he had? 100, 140 or something. It's good. He balled out, so definitely, we love to see that.
Garrett, what are the biggest things that you feel like you guys as a passing offense can still do better?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if we, just kind of continue, just get 1% better every day. So, I mean, we talk about this with Coach Hart. You look at the stats and stuff like that, you feel like, it might be hard to say there's improvement, but we know in our receiver room that there's still a lot of things, we can get better at. I mean, route technique-wise, it's a lot more technique-wise. So, just falling out of cuts. I mean, we still left however many yards on the board. Speaking, we 612. I mean, I feel like there was another 100 that was to be made. So, if you want to be the best offense in the country, you got to do it every day. You got to find something to get better at. You can never be satisfied. So that's us right now. We're trying to figure out how we can finish drives, things like that.
Do you see that from CJ, that drive to want to keep getting 1% better every day?
Yeah, no, I do for sure.
A couple more questions, folks. Go ahead.
Run threat is CJ.
Say that again.
What kind of run threat is CJ? I know no one's jumping.
Yeah.
What kind of run threat is CJ?
I mean, he's a pocket passing quarterback, but if it's open, he can slide. I feel like CJ can slide. He's a big strider. If I had to guess, he'd be like 4'6" or something, 4'7".
Do you need, as his weapons, do you guys need to see that from him? I mean, taking hits, just being willing to take those hits, being willing to get those yards. Does
I mean,
that stuff matter? Just your quarterback?
Honestly, I want to see him be standing, not take any hits, honestly. So, I mean, putting your head down, there's a time for that, but as far as, protecting your body and stuff like that, I want to see our quarterback, make it to the next play every time, be healthy, get up, pop up, stuff like that. So, I mean, him putting his head down on a 4th and 1, that would be something that, we would love to see, and the situation would call for that, but I just want to see him be healthy.
Garrett, we didn't get to talk to you after the game, but did you notice the defensive back check his wristband? Did you, coming off the line?
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yeah, I saw him.
What's going on in your mind as you're watching that happen? And
I mean,
responding? Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew I saw it, and I knew the DB didn't see me, so I was just hoping that CJ see me. Honestly, at that point, I was like wide open. So don't get easier than that. I mean, that was a blessing for sure. Just him looking down his wristband. I mean, we didn't even know they were gonna have wristbands. So, yeah, it was a big play.
Garrett, when Coach Say told us last week about how attacking horizontally is a big focus of this offense, when they're throwing you guys out in the flats there horizontally, do you consider that sort of an extension of the run game, like you and Chris? And
Yeah.
how does that sort of factor in as like an extension of the run
Yeah, I mean, we call them long completions out on the practice field. So,
game?
I mean,
long handoffs?
long handoffs, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, our job is to go and get 5 yards. That's what Coach Day always says. He wants us to go get 5 yards, and after that, it's on us. So, we got to get 5 yards for the team, and as he would coach it to the running backs, go get a tough 4, 3, 4 up yards, and after that, it's on you.
Garrett, thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all, man.